Hey guys, what's up? Alec back with the daily stock market, and look at that, up $1,600 in the past week. Absolutely killed it last earnings week, and in the last month, we're up $4,600, and we're even doing better in the past year. So let's go over a few different stocks. We have another huge earnings week coming up, and I'll be covering all the companies reporting earnings and kind of giving my expectations on what's going to happen with the stocks. So if you want earnings news, make sure you hit that subscribe button with the post notifications on. So we're going to talk about 5 to 10 different stocks that are reporting earnings this week. Okay, so the first one on the list that's reporting earnings this week that I'm going to be buying and snatching up some shares of is going to be Baba. They're down 15%. They're below $200, and anytime they get below $200, I think that's a great position for long term. Now, keep in mind that Baba is expected to miss on earnings. It was an excruciating week of severe emotion storm with the share prices undergoing a roller coaster ride. The massive sell-off of Chinese equities was akin to a golden slam from critics. It was a glorious moment for the horde of I told you so. And you also see another huge week of earnings is on tap with more than a quarter of the S&P 500 companies are due to report earnings, including some reports from Baba, GM, Kraft. Economic reports due out include updates of construction spending, factory orders, and durable goods orders before the July employment report drops at the end of this week. Now, the job report is seen as a potential market mover if there is a surprise to the upside or downside to reset the thinking on interest rates. Now, earnings spotlight on a Monday is not really much going on, but if you go to Tuesday, you can see that's when BP and Alibaba both report their earnings. So in summary, overall, it's pretty risky to buy Alibaba if you're a short-term investor, but if you're a longer-term investor and you're going to be holding for 6 months, 12 months, I think it's a great place to buy Baba under $200 per share for the long term. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on all these because there's a lot of different stocks I want to talk about, so let's go rapid fire on these. Now, BNGO is going to be reporting earnings this week also. And if you're running an option right now, that could be a positive catalyst for BNGO. Now, it could also be a huge risk factor. It is expected to beat on earnings, but remember, that doesn't always mean that the price is going to be shooting up just because they're beating on earnings. But I think BNGO is low enough right now that if they do announce a positive earnings, there's a good chance that the stock price could actually go up. Because like Apple, Microsoft, the stock price is already so high and the valuation is already so high that if they beat earnings or put out any kind of good news, it doesn't matter what kind of good news it is, the stock price doesn't really have as much more to go up because it's already pretty much at the ceiling. With something like a BNGO, the price is not at the ceiling. So if they report stellar earnings, then there's a good chance that the stock price will go up. That's just a little golden nugget for you guys. If you are earnings trader and you expect a company to beat earnings by a lot, you might want to find a stock that's actually not at the ceiling right now, not at a 52-week high, a lower stock. Maybe they're at in between a 52-week high and a 52-week low, or closer to a 52-week low, because if they report stellar earnings, they have more room to actually run up further. All right, so Square's reporting earnings this week too. They're a great company that I love investing in for the long term. However, they're pretty much at their ceiling right now. They're 52-week high. So if they report stellar earnings, don't expect them to go up too much. Even though they seem like they're on their way down, it looks like they already hit that resistance right around 265. 275, and now they're going back down. So if you can get in Square, hopefully when they report earnings, it'll drop the share price to around $210 or $215 per share, because I think that's a great place to get in for long term. Square as a long-term hold is the way to do it. Or if they go down to like 210 or below $200, that's when they have some short trade potential available. Okay, so the next one we have to talk about is DKings, and they're at a pretty attractive price point, under $50 per share right now. If we go out 3 months, they're down 16% and from their all-time high. So remember, in March, there was a lot going on with March Madness and other sports. They're down around 35% from all-time highs, implying that it might be a good time to buy some DraftKings. I would like to buy them closer to the support, like $40 per share or under $40 per share, but there's no guarantee that they will go that low again. And DraftKings is a great stock to hold long term as sports gambling and sports betting become legal in many different states. Also, I posted this on my story 2 hours ago, and you'll actually see DraftKings earnings preview reports earnings with a forecast on the total U.S. sports betting iGaming market continuing to be pushed higher as more states report strong engagement. So that's what I was just talking about. It might not go below $40 again because you're going to see it legalized in more states, and more states have strong engagement with sports gambling. Morgan Stanley thinks sports gambling revenue could hit $7 billion in 2021. Look for an important update from DraftKings with its report on transition of the tech stack to SB Tech from Combi, which Morgan Stanley sees as an important way for the company to grab more of the market share. So I think overall, DraftKings is a great one for a long-term hold, even at the price it's at right now. If you're a long-term trader, or you can even dollar cost average in anything under $50 per share. I think if you plan to hold 1 to 2 years, it's going to be very beneficial, but you really probably want to hold for 3 years or more with DraftKings. Now, Coca-Cola, if you go a little bit lower with your eyes, Coca-Cola NFT, Coca-Cola is planning to release a collection of non-fungible tokens to raise money for a Special Olympic International in an auction that runs through August 2nd. So by the time you're watching this video, it's probably going to be happening tomorrow or the next day. The company says the NFT were created to celebrate elements that are a core to the Coca-Cola brand, reinterpreted for a virtual world in new and exciting ways. Campbell's Soup, ticker symbol CPB, just finished a similar NFT fundraising. So if this becomes big news, the Coca-Cola NFT, that could definitely push up the stock in the short term and even in the long term if the NFTs become a success and they bring back the NFTs, or if they do some more of these good marketing techniques also. Now, Skills is another company that I believe in for long term, and this is a company that, in my opinion, I can go out and buy right now. The price is attractive. They're down 34% in the last month. Anything under $15 per share, I think, is a steal if you're a long-term investor and plan on holding for 1 to 2 years. Even 6 months, you're going to see some gains with Skills. I think in the next 6 months, this could easily be a $20 stock again. In the next 3 to 6 months, I can see this as a $20 stock again, $25 stock again. But in the future, 1 to 2 years, I can see this as a 100% gain. This is a company that a lot of people are sleeping on. Wall Street especially sleeping on it. It had a lot of hype. Just in like a few months, they went up like 258%, which was absolutely ridiculous. So for short-term traders, they also have the potential to go up very quickly at a snap of the fingers. So in my opinion, this is a great gaming stock. They're mobile gaming app stock. So if you're a mobile gamer or if you're into like app gaming, mobile apps, this is going to be the stock for you. You probably even play a lot of the games that Skills makes. And if you want a little bit of homework, go ahead and look what games that Skills owns on the App Store. All right, so after that, we have another gaming stock, and that's going to be Corsair Gaming, CRSR. They do some of those high-tech, high-end gaming equipments, and as gaming becomes more competitive and the average person wants to be a professional gamer, you're going to see the demand for Corsair products and services to start rising. Now, they were following a support and resistance headed upwards between these two lines here, as you can see, but then they broke the support on February 26th, and they started a new support and resistance between these two lines. Now, it looks like they have currently broke that resistance, it looks like they broke that support again, which was right around $30 per share. They went lower than $30 per share. They're down to $29 per share. So it looks like they even broke that support, which is not a good thing for the short-term investors. But I think Corsair, it has nothing to worry about for the long term. Again, a lot of these are long-term investments on the list. And I don't know if you guys actually saw some of my posts over the weekend reinstating that long-term investing is definitely the way to go in the stock market. It's proven that the in the long term, the stock market goes up, right? And in the short term, it's proven that the stock market is very unpredictable in the short term. So why would you be a short-term trader? You automatically have the cards stacked against you that quick just from making the decision that you're a short-term trader. If you shift your mindset to long-term trading, you automatically have the cards in your favor because the market is favored to go up over the long term, and it consistently goes up over the long term too. So you have to think about that. That's why probably 60 to 70% of my portfolio is long-term investments, and probably only 20 to 30% of my portfolio is shorter-term investments. I'm not saying shorter-term investments are the wrong way to invest, but if it's over 50% of your portfolio, then it's probably a good idea to change your method. And I think short-term trading is a great supplement to any account. But you shouldn't primarily be focusing on short-term trading, okay? So that's a good way to lose a lot of money pretty quickly. So we already talked about Corsair. Anything under $30 is great for a long-term investment. All right, so Moderna is actually reporting earnings this week also, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with their stock. I'm kind of going to try to call it now, and this is my prediction with Moderna. They're one of those companies that are at an all-time high. So even if they report stellar earnings, like let's say it's the best earnings ever, there's a chance that they can be down around 5% to 3% on the day. Okay, so watch out for that. I don't think Moderna is a company that's going to be jumping up but when they report earnings, and I would probably want to be buying these under $300, and I think it can even get as low as $250 again for Moderna. We'll talk about some more stocks tomorrow, and we'll go over deeper into earnings on some stocks that are going to report earnings on Tuesday and Wednesday, and we'll do some deeper dives into the stock. Comment below if you guys have any favorite stocks that you want me to talk about a little bit deeper and more into detail with. But let's end the video with AMC. Let's talk about AMC. So as you can see, remember around May 21st to June 2nd is when they absolutely flew up 416%. From $12 a share to $62 a share. And then from June 2nd to basically July 7th, they followed a little pattern here. They didn't go below $40 per share. They were bouncing between $40 and $60 per share for a pretty long time, for almost a month at that point. And then just recently, on halfway through July, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point, you actually saw it go all the way down, AMC, to $33 per share. All right, so if we zoom in, now they're at $33 per share, and they're pretty much hanging out at that support, but they haven't touched $33 per share again. They've actually been working their way up, making higher lows, which is a great thing, and they're also making higher highs on July 20th again as well. Now on July 23rd, they made another higher low at $36 per share. So in my opinion, it looks like it's holding pretty strong at this support of $33. There's enough demand. And if you scroll down, you can even see the volume is still very high. Okay, the volume's a little bit lower than the average volume, so you can see it dissipating a little bit. But what you're really going to want to keep an eye on is the volume. Okay, so if you're an AMC trader, you might want to check the volume once a day and make sure that it's increasing. You don't want to see the volume going down to 40 million, 30 million, 25 million. That will be implying that it'll actually go lower than $33 per share, and it'll break the support and maybe even go as low as $26 per share, like I was predicting earlier in the month. Well, actually, it's a new month, but last month on July. Okay. Now, with that being said, I don't own any AMC. I'm the kind of guy that likes to make big moves on something like an AMC. So I'm a patient investor when it comes to this. So if it goes down to $26, $25 per share, I'll probably buy some with hopes that it'll be going back up to $35 to $60 per share. All right. But I'll only buy a little bit, probably a couple $100 worth if it goes to 26. But if it goes to something like a $12 per share, or $15 per share, which is not out of the question, it's very possible that can happen, that's when I'll be loading up a little bit heavier on Amazon at like $12 or $15 per share and looking for about 100% gain on that investment. So I hope you guys did enjoy that content. Smash the thumbs up button if you appreciate it. If your account doesn't really look like this, it's not growing in the past year, if you hit the year button, I am officially shutting down signups for my close friends list. We have over 1,000 people currently on the close friends list and over 300 positive testimonials on my Instagram. So if you want to check out those 300 positive testimonials, check out my Instagram, go to my highlights. It'll say success number 1, success number 2, success number 3, and I actually have to make it a success number 4 because we've been filling up and getting tons of results for people. So if you need a little bit of help, if you need some guidance, if you need a second voice or a second pair of eyes, someone to bounce your ideas off of, if you don't have any trading, no one in your family trades, none of your friends trade, I'm always there for all my students. So let me know if you want an application to the close friends list. DM me on Instagram because I am shutting them down. So let me know if you've been wanting to get on for a while. And if you're a long-term subscriber and you like my content and my story content on Instagram, you're definitely going to love my close friends benefits. All right, guys, DM me on Instagram if you want more information or if you want to talk a little bit also. And I'll see you in the next video. Remember, don't time the market, buy the market. Peace.